Thank you, my good people, the listeners of KJTV, and this is the home of politics. Remember, today we are here with Dr. Josh Omandi, and he's the host of KJTV. And we need to know a little information as far as the state visit is concerned. And as we understand, Doctor, I have a concern today, and I need to understand what is this called the state visit. What is the state visit? We need to understand when people say the state visit, what is the significance and what is the meaning of that?
Oh, thank you very much. That is a good question. A state visit is when a president of a country is invited by another president,
yes,
to be hosted by his guests.
Yes.
Once he arrives, that is a formal procedure. Somebody is invited as a guest.
Yeah.
Unlike when a president can come, normally presidents come to US, like they come to attend the UN meeting.
Yes,
that's not a state visit.
Not a state visit.
They can meet with the president on the side of the host country,
yes,
but that's not a state visit.
So that means a state visit is an official invitation by the president of a country himself,
yeah,
to the other president.
Yeah.
So I'm made to understand that we have the visits of the president of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, is now invited officially to the United States by the president of the United States, and that is Joe Biden.
Yeah.
And as per the information, he landed actually today in Georgia, Atlanta. So why do you think that? And I heard him saying that since for a couple of years, none of other presidents have been given that chance. He has been. He might be the first African president to have that visit to the United States. Do you think that is true?
Well, I think I saw a clip where he was saying that.
Yes.
He had said that he's the first African president to get a state visit in 20 years.
In 20 years.
When I checked the veracity of that, I think he's not the first African president to be invited in 20 years.
Yes.
But the first Kenyan president in 20 years. In 2003,
yes,
President Kibaki,
yes,
was invited and hosted by George Bush. But the first African president to have been invited for a state visit was in 1943, Edwin Barclay, the president of Liberia.
You seem to have information, and
yeah.
Do you read books about this, or what are things?
Yeah, and 2008 also, John Kufuor of Ghana was invited and hosted by George Bush too. So, as for African leader,
yeah,
no, probably he didn't have his facts right, but
okay.
But in any way, it's also a honor of our country when your president is invited.
Yes,
when he gets a state visit, that is good because there are so many things they talk about, bilateral agreements. So that's a honor.
So that means during the reign of President Uhuru Kenyatta, we didn't have any state visit to the United States officially.
He did come, but
it wasn't a state visit.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So after 20 years since Kibaki came in 2003, so this is our second invitation, Kenyan invitation, officially to the state visit.
Yeah.
So when I was going through news and going through the newspapers this morning, I realized that some Kenyans are complaining that the president is coming is costing a lot of money.
Mm.
So what do you think about that? Because they're saying that there are claims going around that the plane that he used to come to the United States, it was it is very costly, more especially with the taxpayers. And they say that it's also going to hire a jet that is going to maybe use almost 2 million shillings per hour. And the plane that he used is worth 200 million Kenyan shilling. And the Kenyans are complaining about that. What is your take about it?
You know, at times we Kenyans, we complain a lot.
Yes.
And I really, let's talk about the presidency.
Yes.
The president is a country's pride.
Yes.
I mean, where Kenya we have reached, did we want our president just to come like a passenger?
No, for real.
He's representing the symbol of authority and our supremacy.
Yes.
And why would we complain? Because even if we had our plane,
yes,
if the plane which President Mo used to have,
yes,
if it was in operation, still it costs a lot to maintenance and fuel and other things. It was almost the same. Yeah. I mean, we would want, it's a honor when your president is coming to United States.
Yes.
I don't think we should put that much. This is a man who does not sleep because of all the stresses of our country. Running a country is not easy. I mean, we shouldn't be complaining. We shouldn't be taking on any negative things. Let us also look at positive things.
So your suggestion is, so the Kenyans who are complaining about the expenses that are aligned to his coming in the United States, what is your advice to them? They should stop thinking about it?
They should stop that. Mm-hmm. We should appreciate that our country has made a stride. Yes. We should look at this thing positive instead of looking as a glass as a half full. Mm-hmm. I mean, a half empty. We should look at it as a half full. Because why would we want to see always negative? You will want to see our president also come in a good style to present our country.
Being the second time he has been invited after 20 years.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it for him to come the same way. So there is another, I've heard people say that President Ruto has never had any visits to Minnesota, more especially the Twin Cities. And in as much as this is his first time to have a state visit, I'm made to understand that he has never come to Twin Cities, Minnesota. So what is your take about this?
Well, everybody, there is a saying that beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yes.
It means maybe president does not have interest to the Midwest, or because when he comes to DC, he does things there and goes back home. There are many logistics. Yes. So, but maybe one time we will come. It does not mean that who president has come. Why are we complaining about Ruto? Did Kenyatta come here? No.
Yeah, he did not come.
Did Kibaki come here? No, we are in rural. I remember we are in rural. Even us, even in Kenya, when presidents come from other countries, they reach Nairobi or go to Mombasa, and that's all. Okay. They don't go to other places. So I'm not trying to discredit that he can come, but probably the leaders, the Kenyan leaders in Minnesota, they could have also maybe requested,
yes,
so that he can put them on their itinerary. A president is not a person you invite on the press. You complain so that he will come.
No.
Did we write a letter to him say, Mr. President, as you are coming to Washington, D.C., we want you to put Minnesota on the map.
Yes.
We would also like you to fly to Minnesota and visit us. You can't invite a president through the press. There's a procedure.
Yes, I understand that. And because I realized that a few days ago, I had people in Minnesota lining up and saying that we have so many Kenyans in Minnesota, and they could even want to reach out to the president and maybe have a consulate here in Minnesota. What is your take about that?
Well, we have really talked about the consulate
Yes.
for many times because with the population we have,
Yeah.
Minnesota, we have now, putting to the last census,
Yes.
we have over 14,000 Kenyans living in Minnesota.
Yes.
Who would really need to be served with the consulate. But we have a consulate in New York, and yet, do you know how many Kenyans live in New York?
No.
4,000.
Only 4,000.
In California, 6,000. But they have a consulate.
Yes.
But you know, there are also other factors. The consulate, maybe because it's Midwest, you know, the consulate does not only come to serve people.
Yes.
They also have some business interest.
Oh,
they
yes.
want to be where major corporations are and the other things. Maybe that is, there are so many factors, but based on our numbers and the consulate we really need to have in the Midwest.
Yes.
For sure, and if they have to have, the Minnesota will be the best place to be.
Yes.
Because like now,
yeah,
people are going all the way to DC to get passports.
Yes.
But I want to give a different view about this passport.
Yeah.
The Kenyan embassy, we are in a digital age.
Yes.
Somebody doesn't need to travel to take fingerprints. What that the consulate needs to do, there are some biometric companies.
Yes.
They can contract one biometric company.
Yes.
Where after you fill your information, you can go there and they take your fingerprints.
Oh, yeah.
And then they take them to the embassy on a fee, even if they add a fee on you,
yes,
which you pay at the designated person here who can take your fingerprints, and then they go to the embassy instead of you going to the embassy.
Yeah.
We can make that seamless, and we can do these things online. We really don't have somebody to fly all the way to Washington. That would be the easiest and most effective way if they don't want to give us a consulate.
Yes.
Because it's a digital age.
Thank you so much, my good people. This is Dr. Joash Omandi, and this is the CEO and the founder of KJTV. He was my host here, and thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. President, for coming and visiting the United States. Welcome to Twin Cities, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we will be very happy to receive you here as we look forward to interact with you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.